I think Seneca said that we all think we don't have enough time, but it's really we just don't use the time we have well. Um, and I think a lot of it is around like how we choose to pick our identities. To your point earlier, like someone might say like, "Man, I'm lazy." I would say like that's amazing. Like a lot of great CEOs are lazy. That's fine. Let's use that. And so let's just make working more convenient than the other thing, and then your laziness will take over. You know what I mean? Just like in terms of how we can frame the problem, right? Like as an example you were saying earlier with the iPhone, like scientific study, anyone can do this. You can decrease your iPhone usage by simply going to grayscale. Like across age groups, if you switch your colors on your screen to grayscale, you will use it 30% less than you normally would. It's like great for most people. That's like an hour plus a day.
30% is an hour plus?
Oh my God, yeah.
Whoa.
I think it's way. I mean, I think average iPhone usage is probably like. I mean, I think 1 hour is like conservative on that. I think it's like might be even two.
Yowza.
Yeah, hours. It's like there you go. Found your time. You can make all your content. You can do all this stuff. You can watch a movie. The time that you have from saving it. But like anyone can do it. And so just like how many of these little things can I make convenient, right? So like if you're trying to eat healthy, right? I mean, obviously, guys, like we both came from that space. It's like, well, you just make it more convenient to eat healthy than eat unhealthy. It's like, okay, well, remove all the stuff in your house that you don't want to be eating. Make sure that all the snacks you have are protein related snacks. You know, anything that has calories in it that's a beverage, don't include it, right? Like just simple things that all of a sudden you're like, I'm hungry, and you're like, I've got cucumber slices and protein chips. You're like, well,
What do you think will be more effective, that or dehydrating the horse?
I think that is dehydrating the horse.
Interesting. That one's never spoken to me. One, because that's not my problem. You can fill my house with snacks. And if it either violates one of my rules, which I'm obsessed with because I created them and they're designed to get me the results that I want, or they violate my identity, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. That's unique to you. I think that's like a Tom, like 1% thing, just me from the outside. I think a lot of people have a hard time following rules.
You don't think people will drive 30 minutes to gorge on something?
I think they could, but they're just as likely to break a rule. And I think it's more likely that they will break a rule because it takes less effort to break the rule to themselves than it does to drive 30 minutes. And so I just want to make it as inconvenient as possible to do the wrong thing and as convenient as possible to do the right thing.
That will clearly be advantageous. So in no way is what I'm about to say arguing against that. So huge. Love that. Total support on board. Now, having said that, I have a feeling that the thing that people are up against, and I thought a lot about this with food. At Quest, I wasn't thinking, oh, I need to make this convenient. That was part of it. And we certainly were not blind to the fact that giving somebody a packaged good that they could carry in their purse was going to be really helpful.
Yeah.
But the mantra I kept saying to myself was, I want to make food that people can choose based on taste. And it happens to be good for them.
Totally.
Because I think people will go way out of their way, violate rules, all that, to eat something that makes them feel the way they want to feel. And if I had to anchor all of my fears around people not being able to accomplish what they want to accomplish, it would all be around the things you're going to need to do don't feel the way you want them to feel. And because they don't feel the way you want them to feel, you veer towards the things that do make you feel the way you want to feel. Now, part of that you can accomplish by reframing, but part of it, I think, is inescapable. You're going to do what feels good and you're going to avoid what's painful for the most part.
Okay, I love this. So one of the big misnomers in my opinion about discipline is that people who like, some people might look at me and say that, oh, Alex is really disciplined, but I actually really do what I want to do every day. And it just so happens to be work that is productive and makes money. But that statement that you made earlier that people, what you said? You said people do
what makes them feel the way they want to feel,
right? And then you said, well, oh, it's because it's not making them feel the way they want to feel. And my only addition to that would have just been yet, just yet. And so it's usually because their extinction curve is too low, right, on the behavior. And so if I go, let's say I'm the best door knocker in the world, best door knocking sales guys, and I knock on 5 doors. I might not get an answer from any of those 5 doors. And I walk away and I say, I guess door knocking isn't for me. And I might be the LeBron James of door knocking, right? But if the sample size is too small because my extinction curve just cuts off really fast, I'll never know. And so that's why it's like, if you can give the thing the opportunity to reinforce its own behavior, then it goes from external to internal. Where like video editors, for example, like there's people who love, I mean, we're going to film school, right? In the beginning, you suck at editing film, but then you like make the letters appear and you get instant feedback and you're like, whoa, that was rewarding, right? And then you do it again, and then you learn another technique and another technique, another technique. And so then the behavior itself becomes rewarding and you begin to like work. Right? You begin liking your work. And so I think it really is that just getting over the hump in the beginning of knocking on 1,000 doors rather than 5, and realizing that it would make sense that you would suck because you haven't done it before. But knowing that if other people have done it too, that there is a reward that will eventually come and it will reinforce me just like it has every other human before me who has done this. And I think just like one of my core, assumptions, as I like to say, is that if somebody else can do these behaviors, I can do these behaviors and get the same outcome.
Look at your bank account. Now look at mine. Now look at your bank account. Now back to mine. Sadly, it doesn't look like mine. But it could if you joined Skool. Come with me. Where are you? You're at a party, but not just any party, your party. And you get to decide who's invited. You can come in, my dear. You cannot. Give me a moment. And because it's your party, it can be free or it can be paid. It's up to you. And you're talking about whatever you want to talk about because it's your party. Learning and having fun. But don't believe me, look at these numbers. This is the real leaderboard from last month. And sure, I could talk about Bill, who's making $62,000 a month, helping people bookkeep better. Or Jamie, helping women invest, making $41,000 a month. But what about the average school community? Well, the average paid community makes $1,360 per month. How about them apples? What's that? The ticket to the thing that you've always wanted to go to. My headquarters here in Vegas. Become one of the top 10 communities and you can fly out. Look, over there. The ticket is now a torch. No, it's an engagement ring to the business of your dreams so that you can marry it forever. Because 1 out of 2 businesses on Skool create money online. Anything is possible on Skool. Click the link to start for free.